Happy Saturday. It's February 3rd, the first Saturday of the month. I'm Kimberly Perot, and thanks for joining Wasatch Weekends. On today's episode, Ross and I get into the kitchen, but no, we don't cook anything. We work on our snowboard bindings. He gives me a little bit of advice on what kind of stance to set up for my preferred riding. Plus, Bosco. That is a new film, and Kevin had a conversation with the cast. I also chatted with certified holistic nutritionist Laura Heflin, plus our furry favorite friends, Nuzzles & Co., joining us all in today's episode. But before we get started, let's take a look at today's weather. Welcome to Wasatch Weekends. It is Sunday, February 4th. Exciting day today because I had a conversation earlier with talent acquisition manager and business consultant Emily Gross about how to use AI to really help you in your job search. Plus, I made hummus with Gretchen in the kitchen. But before we get started with all of that, we need to look at today's weather. It's Sunday, and you know, Sunday is a perfect day to start your job search, especially before the week rolls in because companies are posting new job ads out there all over the place. I had a conversation with talent acquisition manager and business consultant Emily Gross about how to use AI in your job search. You know, we are at the beginning of a brand new year. Brand new year means new goals, whether it's personal or professional. And joining me today to talk about how you can apply for jobs, which is, I know, very intimidating to some people. I've got talent acquisition manager and business consultant Emily Gross on the couch with me today to give you all of the advice that you need. Emily, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, you are talent acquisition expert. You talk to people all day long. You hire people, you give advice, you train a team. So you know all things business and the ins and outs of it. So let's talk about 2024. We're coming into new technology, new ways to do things, whether it's looking for a job, whether it's writing a resume or a cover letter or even a headshot. So ChatGPT, I know that is the hot topic. Tell me all about it.
Yes, I am absolutely loving ChatGPT. I'm exploring with it. I'm learning more about its capabilities every day. And also job seekers, not only because it's a new year and people are looking for new opportunities, there's a lot of layoffs happening. Any of us can be looking for a job at any moment in time, of course. So we now have tools that can make it a lot easier. ChatGPT has been amazing. You can start by uploading your resume to ChatGPT with a job description of a job that you're interested in, even multiple if they're similar, and then prompt ChatGPT to cater that resume to those job descriptions. It's going to embed those keywords, and it's really going to help you look like the best candidate.
That's great. So you can literally take the job job description of the job that you want, and then take your resume and tell ChatGPT to match them?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So when we use ChatGPT, so that's just with your resume, but oftentimes with the job search, you've got to have a cover letter, or it's intimidating to upload them into the search portal because you've got to enter in your employer, your address, what you did, all of those things. So how does ChatGPT help?
Yes. So writing a cover letter, I've heard from so many people that they're motivated, they're ready to go, they're applying to jobs, and then they get the upload the cover letter as well, and they're like, So don't be, intimidated by that. Go to ChatGPT, put your resume in again, put that job description in, and prompt it to write you a cover letter for that specific job. You can also add, I like to talk to my ChatGPT, so I'll say, add a little note about this and things like that. Then whatever version it gives you back, I'm always tweaking it, coaching it, really catering it. I'll say, make it more casual, make it shorter, make it more professional. Make sure you mention this recent company accomplishment. So never really take the first version that it gives you, and you're going to learn so much of its capabilities by prompting it more and more.
That's great. Gone are the days of people who have careers in resume writing, so they're going to need to use ChatGPT to find their next job.
Yes,
that's great. So let's talk a little bit more about technology. So AI is great. So you mentioned for resumes and for cover letters, but how else can you use ChatGPT to help refine your professional profile?
Yes, so many things. Another thing that I was loving that it can do is you can upload, again, your resume, that job description, and the company information once you do have an interview scheduled. Then you can prompt ChatGPT to give you interview questions.
Oh, wow.
And then you can start answering them. Make sure you're using that star format with all of your answers. And you're going to be very prepared, because who knows, that hiring manager might even be using ChatGPT to generate those questions. So you're going to be very prepared, or it'll be similar questions. So that's another way it helps.
No, that's great. So you said star format.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's just making sure that you're really giving the full story. So when someone asks you about a challenge that you faced, again, stay away from saying, I usually, or sometimes. We want to take them to a specific time and place where you faced a challenge, start to finish, the situation, the action that you took, and you cannot forget the results. So getting all of that together, practicing with ChatGPT, answering those questions is going to have all of your responses right on the tip of your tongue.
So if you got the interview, you use the ChatGPT, everything looks great, and now you're sitting with a hiring manager. How do you really wow a hiring manager in your questions? Like, what would you recommend as far as types of questions to ask, how to answer their questions, what to wear, all of that?
Sure. Well, I'm going to say again, you can use ChatGPT. You can prompt ChatGPT with saying, what are some great interview questions for this interview that I could ask myself that will show my enthusiasm. Or a lot of times you can even have it reword something you're wondering about. I want to ask them about their last year. What's a great way to phrase that? So ChatGPT can help you. And again, all of this with AI, you still are going to put your personal touch on it, and that is really the magic. The AI is going to take, I think, a lot of the stress and a lot of the time that you would be spending on this, and it will allow yourself to be yourself, I personally think, because a lot of times I'll hear something great from ChatGPT, and I'm like, that's wonderful content. I know exactly now how to make it my own. So it's really helpful.
That's great. Now, if you're not necessarily looking, but you want your profile to look good, your professional profile. So how do you make it look good? When you're putting content on your profile, should it be exactly the same as your resume? And then also let's talk about what your picture should look like.
Yes, this is, I think, the fun stuff. I mean, it's all fun, but this gets really fun. So they are now offering AI-generated professional headshots. There are several different apps and websites that are offering it, so I'm not going to endorse one in particular. But the average price is about $30. A lot of them even have a 7-day trial. You upload about 10 pictures of yourself, and then it literally gives you hundreds of professional photos to choose from. And when you get them back, you will see that AI still struggles with fingers and teeth. So the hundreds is useful, but you'll be surprised that they really are able to capture the essence of who you are, looking really professional.
I don't know if I should be excited or scared because that is impressive. So you usually about 10 photos and they generate 100 images from those 10.
Yes, and
Wow.
they give you all kinds of outfits and looks and colors, and you can customize. Say like, I don't like the color purple, I like the color blue, or what have you. So I just think it's super fun. And for a lot of people that don't have access to someone to take a photo of them, or good lighting, or professional clothes, I think it's a great way to get yourself out there started looking and feeling your best.
That's so important. A lot of people don't even know how to pose in front of the camera at times.
Totally.
So that's a great way just to really elevate your professional profile.
Yes.
So other platforms. So we've been talking a lot about ChatGPT.
Yes.
We've talked about these photo apps that can give you a professional headshot, but there's got to be more out there. So tell me all about it.
Yes, I am learning about the full cycle ones now. The ones I've been hearing the most are Teal HQ and Use Massive. They will take you full cycle. They will create your resume for you based on a series of questions. A lot of them are multiple choice, so it creates an algorithm for you. You obviously put in your personal information as far as where you have worked and the things you've accomplished. Also be sure to make them measurable accomplishments on there. And then it will actually suggest jobs that you should apply to. It will apply to the jobs for you. It will keep track of the application status. It will even send follow-up communications for you. It's incredible. So they can even say that they can even apply to 300 jobs per month for you.
Wow.
I think it would be for someone who's maybe starting out younger in your career and you're just kind of open to a lot of different things. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. With any AI, be very careful with your personal information. Do not include your street address. You can put the city and state that you live in. Do not put your actual phone number. I would recommend creating a Google number. They're free, so absolutely please do that. I would also recommend just creating another Gmail account just for job applications. So everything's all in one place. It's a professional email address, and that way you're protected. Because if you're going to be sending your information out to 300 people, we want it to be very secure. So please keep that in mind.
I love that you mentioned professional email address. I've seen some email addresses that should have been left in the 90s.
Same, but they give me a good laugh though. So
it's true. Well, Emily, where can we go to get career advice, to connect with you? Talk to me about how can we follow you and just use your knowledge.
Yeah. Anyone is welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I do want to mention one other tool that I'm super excited about. If you don't mind, it's quick, but I was thrilled to hear this. So, when you're going and you're applying to jobs and then you upload your resume, your cover letter, you think you're all good to go, and then it prompts you to put in every single detail, month, year, a full application that's like 10 pages long. Mm-hmm. There's a web extension, a browser extension called Simplify, and it autofills for you.
Amazing.
I was so excited to hear that. So anyone can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I love giving career advice. Again, we're living in a time where lots of people are getting laid off and all different things are happening. And I'm so passionate about helping people find their job in a less stressful way. So reach out.
You're very approachable, and I'm sure you've helped many careers change and many lives change. So Emily Gross on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Great. Well, we'll make sure that people connect with you there. And thank you for all of your knowledge and your information.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. One of my favorite parts of this job is getting into the kitchen with my co-hosts and making all kinds of delicious treats. Gretchen and I made from scratch some hummus. It's quite delicious. Let's take a look. Like I said, Gretchen and I are in the kitchen. We are hanging out. It is a girls' morning on this Monday morning edition of Good Morning Vail. But speaking of, there are lots of things that we like to call girl dinner and snacks and all of the fun stuff.
Girl snack.
It is. So we are in the kitchen and we are making hummus, which is, this is, in my opinion, better than store-bought. 100%.
And I'll be honest with you, so I was vegetarian for 10 years, and hummus is one of my go-tos still to date. Like, I love hummus. So I'm really stoked, and I thought it was a lot harder than it is. So
It's great. So we've got all kinds of things to snack with it, but we'll talk about that in a second. But the trick to hummus is the layering and how you put the ingredients in, and that makes it lighter and more fluffy and all of that.
because you don't want it heavy or runny. Or
You don't, and it can be very thick. So you actually start with your tahini and lemon juice.
Okay.
So that's the basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1/4 of a cup of tahini. So we've got a measuring cup and we're going to put about 1/4 of the cup of the tahini in there, and then also the lemon juice. So we can just dump the lemon juice into our blender right here. Smells delicious.
Yeah,
so
it
this
really
is
does.
freshly squeezed. It's about a half a lemon, and it's okay that the seeds are in there because it's going to be blended up.
Okay.
And then we're putting 1/4 of a cup of the tahini. Now, the trick with the tahini, you
Yes.
want to make sure that it's well stirred, which you were doing it before the commercial break.
Yes.
We are crushing it.
Well, and you're right, because it was kind of layered. The liquid was on the top, so and it's a better consistency
And
now.
tahini is, it's great. That's what gives it a little bit of that sesame flavor.
I love the smell too. Is that weird? I love how it smells.
It's great. So we're going to just go ahead and add a little bit in here. I'd say we're just going to scoop it straight in, right? Just like that. We're going to put one more spoonful in. So that's about 1/4. And now, Gretchen, what you can do for me is we've got the garlic cloves.
Yep.
That's also a really good one. So that's about 1/4 of a cup of tahini. There,
Ooh,
right?
That's intense for this morning.
It is. It's a great
That
way,
woke me up.
great way to get started here. So we've got the tahini in here. We're going to hang on to the garlic first.
And now, Kim, is this, how many garlic cloves is this?
That is one. So
Okay.
you're just going to dice it up and get this. This is always the fun part. I love putting the lid on this. So the trick to this is blending this for an amount of time. So we're going to blend it for about 45 seconds here. So all you have to do is start, let it go.
Perfect.
It's just going to blend it and whip it and cream the tahini and the lemon juice.
But it's important to do this before we put, okay.
Yep. So we're letting it blend, right now we're at about 20 seconds or so.
I love it.
Keep it going.
I'm just shocked how easy this is. I truly thought that making hummus would be very hard.
It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not.
But that teaches you, you just have to read and do it.
Yep. So it looks good there. We're just gonna scrape it down a little bit more. Yep. Can you smell the nuttiness of the sesame?
I love it.
Right? All right.
I can smell the garlic. Woo.
So we're getting ready to throw all of that in here too. So we've got what you can also do for me.
Yes.
2 tablespoons
Okay.
of the olive oil.
Perfect.
Yep. So we're gonna put 2 of those into here.
Does it matter what kind of olive oil we use?
It really
for this?
doesn't.
Okay.
I like to do organic olive oil.
Perfect.
I love. There we go. Go ahead and throw that in there. I love to do California olive oil. That's a favorite one of mine.
Okay, but it truly doesn't matter. It's kind of
true.
up to your
Perfect. We'll throw in the garlic next.
discretion.
Discretion.
All right, the garlic. Woo, that is
Yeah.
intense.
It is strong. We can smell it, but I tell you what, it's going to make this quite delicious. And then we're going to add a little bit of cumin.
Okay.
Which we've got here. So with that cumin, you're going to do about a half a teaspoon.
Okay.
So, yep, super easy on these measurements. We'll do a half a teaspoon there. No pressure.
I know, I got it. I got you.
You're crushing it.
I know, for the woman
And you
that
can
does not
honestly just
cook.
kind of-
Okay.
Yes, sparkle.
Look like this.
Look at you. You're doing a
I'm
great job,
learning.
Gretchen.
I'm learning. Thank you.
I'm telling you, like
Maybe
this
a
is
little bit more.
a great party trick to bring.
Yes.
Either to have it at home because now you know all the ingredients that you're putting in.
I'll be honest,
That
I would
looks
feel
great.
so good coming in and being like, oh, I have my own hummus that I made.
Oh, and then the best part is like this is a great base layer, so then you can add your own flavors
Right,
to it.
yes.
So we're gonna blend it again, and you just kind of keep blending and layering.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Easy enough.
we're letting it go.
I love that I'm genuinely excited because, listen, when I see my friends and family and I'm like, oh, I made my own hummus, they're going to be like, the girl has finally gotten it together. She has made it in life.
She has made it
She
in
can
life.
do her own hummus.
Right. Okay. Great. We're gonna put a little bit of salt. So I
Okay.
like to use on this salt. It's got 3 different options to pour it.
Right.
I like to use the big 3 circles of it.
Okay.
So we'll just add some salt in there.
Should I do it just?
I'll just tell you when.
Okay.
All right. So that's perfect.
Oh.
Great. No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You said the big option. I went with the
You
big
went with
option.
the big option, and that's okay because we can always add more to it.
I love-
Totally fine. All right.
We like it salty here at Good Morning Bill, if you haven't noticed.
It's true. So now we've got our chickpeas, and that is obviously the base of hummus. So what I did with the chickpeas is we opened the can, and then we drained the liquid out of it. And the liquid is called aquafaba.
Cool.
Because we are going to still use some of it back into the
Interesting.
hummus.
So it gives more of the flavor, and this is the consistency.
Exactly. So we're going to put just half the can
Okay.
into the blender now. So just go ahead and pour a little bit of a half in there. A little over, it's fine.
That's
but
good.
we do that so that it just blends equally and evenly. We're going to blend it now.
Oh, that looks really good.
Looking
And
great.
it smells really good. Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I'm impressed.
And now we're going to add, we can add the rest of it in there, and then we'll add 1 more tablespoon of olive oil into the mix.
Okay, so
the rest of the chickpeas.
Perfect.
You can throw that in there. Looking great. Awesome.
Perfect.
And then we'll put half a tablespoon of olive oil.
All right.
And then we're just going to blend it. And so we'll just sit here and smile and talk because kitchen noises are loud. You're doing such a good
Oh,
job.
cooking. I love it.
Looks great to me.
All right. It does look really good.
Okay. Now this is the fun part. So we've got 30 seconds of straight blending. Here we go.
We use our outside voices for
Outside voices.
very loud.
It's looking great.
I wish you could smell it at home. It smells so good. It really does. You're making me hungry. I've had hummus many a day for breakfast. I love how it tastes. It's interesting. My family does not think it's good, but I love it.
I love hummus too. So if you look at it, you can kind of see the consistency. Like there are still some pieces of the chickpea in here, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, it really doesn't matter. And this is the fun part where we're going to add the aquafaba into it.
Oh,
so
awesome.
What you can do is take the tablespoon and you just dip it in there, and we're going to do 2 to 3 tablespoons of it. Or you can use cold water.
Okay.
So not warm water. You want to make sure that it's cold.
And Kim, I was going to ask you, is sometimes hummus is just very smooth, but I have had really good hummus that has the chickpeas kind of sticking out of it. Is that just whatever you like?
It's really whatever preference that you want
Okay.
to. So we've got 3 tablespoons of the aquafaba in there. Looking great. And honestly, we're just going to blend it, and then we get
blend
to try
away.
it.
I love
blend,
this.
Try,
blend and
taste
try.
it. Looking great.
I cannot believe how easy this is. I know I've said that 8 times, but really you would think it would be a huge process, and it's not.
Yeah, looking great. And you can kind of just see right in there. The hummus is looking awesome. I'm going to say, I love the consistency of this.
Are we just going to dip it in?
We're just going to dip those veggies in there. I love to serve it with fresh veggies.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
I love veggies and pita bread.
Pita bread,
too,
yeah.
But these crackers are amazing.
Mary's
as well.
Gone crackers are my favorite cracker.
But I do love nothing better than a carrot stick. What would you like?
I'm going with the carrot stick.
Okay, let's do
They're
it.
right here in front of me. So it's you can just you can smell the nuttiness of the sesame. You can smell the garlic, the fresh garlic.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
There we go.
You can also just smell like all of the aroma. It's quite
Oh my gosh,
delicious.
it is really good. I'm not even just saying that. It's really good. Wow.
As we sit here and chew on our carrots.
I know.
Hummus is a great, easy way to entertain your guests and to wow them. So
I am going to wow everyone by making my own hummus. This is awesome.
can't wait to share this with friends and family over the next weekend or
And
so.
can I have one question for you?
Sure.
So you know how there's all the different types of hummus, like the roasted
Red pepper.
red pepper, and different. Do you just add that in there?
Literally just add it in and blend it up and make sure that it's a consistency that you want.
Wow.
So easy
I'm
to add
excited.
whatever flavors that you want to into your hummus. But that being said, we're going to snack on veggies and hummus over the commercial break, and we'll be back with more after this. I sure hope you liked that tasty recipe for that hummus that you can make all week long to snack on. Plus Emily with the AI advice. Lots of exciting stuff happened on this morning edition of Wasatch Weekends. I'm Kimberly Perot, and I'll see you next time.